If Journey and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater had a crystalline, moody love child, Skate Story would be it. Yet, while the vibes are on point, the actual skateboarding, well, that's where the wheels wobble a little. But first, let's talk about what exactly Skate Story is. Throughout its 6-hour runtime, there are 3 distinct types of gameplay. The first has you zooming through short and sharp obstacle courses that'd make your early 2000s inner child as keen as a bean, while the second has our glossy protag busting out tricks and combos to whittle down a boss's HP, which unfortunately doesn't quite live up to its potential. Besides the 2 to 4 minute time limit, most of the big bads don't pose much of a threat. You pretty much just waltz into their attack range and unload your stylish bag of tricks until they're kaputski. Nothing more, nothing less. The third major aspect is hub areas. And no, not the one you're thinking of. You'd assume having big open spaces to skate around in would be the funnest part of the game, but no. Somehow, I enjoyed these sections the least out of everything else. Aside from some pretty standard objectives like finding letters around the map or skating after things on a wild goose chase, it ultimately suffers because the skating just isn't as exciting, extensive, or intuitive as the Tony Hawk series. Trying to ride up a ramp makes our glass guy have an epileptic fit, while getting him to begin grinding is way too precise for its own good. What's that now? You wanted to pull off some sweet hand plants and stalls? Yeah, that's not happening here either, buddy. Good luck. I will say, the Ollie and Nollie tricks do look smooth. Combining them with a little power slide, manual, and mid-air spins while you careen down a slope is pure hype. However, I just wish the other parts of the game were as compelling as the speed sections. On the presentation side of things, Skate Story has quite a unique art design, featuring all the hipster chromatic aberration you could ask for, with a psychedelic underworld that honestly looks like a synthwave album cover exploded and formed a religion. Each level is drenched in a neon haze, pulsating lights, and minimalist architecture that somehow feels peaceful and threatening, which is exactly what this game is about. Also, those Greek philosopher-looking dudes are pure gold. Speaking of ideology, this story goes to some dark territory that I was not ready for. 1 second you're playing a chill skate game, the next, wham! Creepy 3 AM thoughts up the wazoo. Never imagined I'd have an existential crisis during a skater game, but here we are. In all seriousness, most of the plot is about our glass guy eating literal moons as he's contractually obligated by the devil to save his soul. Cool concept in theory, though apart from a few quirky characters, nothing of real interest happens 90% of the time. Luckily, the soundtrack absolutely slaps. The ambient beats, lo-fi textures, and shimmering synths make you feel like you're floating through the world rather than actually skating across it. It ties everything together in a way that almost elevates even the more repetitive and frustrating parts of the game, believe it or not. When you're hurtling through Skate Story's fast-paced courses, it feels incredible. Smooth, stylish, and almost transcendent. But the moment the game asks you to slow down, explore, or solely rely on its trick system, the cracks start to show. Bosses aren't memorable, hub areas drag, and the skating just isn't intuitive or expressive enough to stick the landing. There's definitely magic here, though it's wrapped around mechanics that never truly shine. A vibe showcase first, a skate game second.